There's a well-known story about the Chafetz Chaim Zatzal. Chafetz Chaim met a Jew who was looking for a bracha, and he says, "What do you do?" So the Jew says, "I have this and this job, and I sell this and this produce." Chafetz Chaim says, "I don't understand, but what do you do?" So he says, "Well, I have to get things from the supplier. I have to make deals and package things, and then get it out to stores and companies that I sell to." Chafetz Chaim says, "No, what do you do?" So the Jew says, "I don't understand what you're asking." Chafetz Chaim explained, all those things that you explained to me, that's what Hashem does for you. But what do you do? We have to ask ourselves this question as well. You see, what we do in this world is called our Maaseh Yadayim. Chazal use this term all the time for what kind of parnasa a person makes, what kind of produce they achieve. And the Maaseh Yadayim of a person seems to typify who they are, but it doesn't really. Rav Pincus points out in Parshas Shmini that we have the incredible first ever Birkas Kohanim. After the inauguration of the Mishkan, after the Shiras Yimei HaMiluim, where Moshe Rabbeinu had performed all the karbanos to inaugurate the Mishkan, the first day when Aaron HaKohen brings the first karban, so after bringing that first karban, he turns around, Vayisa Aaron es Yadav el Ha'am Vayivarchem, that he picks up his arms to the nation and he blessed the Jewish people. Why was that? Because Aaron HaKohen was this representative of the conduit of the Kedusha and the bracha from Shemaim coming down to the Jewish people. How does it come down? Like we see the Kohanim in Shul giving us the bracha here in Eretz Yisrael every day, or in the Shalosh Regalim in Chutz La'aretz, we see that they cover their hands because their hands represent the conduit from the Shemaim to the Tzibor, to the Am. And Aaron HaKohen was representing that. And our hands represent what we can receive from the Kohanim and receive as a bracha from HaKadosh Baruch Hu. You see, it says with Pincus, every single person has really three positions to their hands. Their hands can be upwards, straight, or downwards. He says downwards is not considered appropriate because it represents the lower, more animalistic needs of the human being. However, straight ahead represents our Maaseh Yadayim, represents what are you doing in this world? What are you doing in the interpersonal plane? And the best is obviously when the hands are reaching heavenward in tefillah and bakasha, in a form of receiving from Shemayim, receiving the bracha from Shemayim. In fact, I once heard a story about somebody who asked for a bracha from a certain Rebbe, and he told them it's a special segula when the Kohanim give a bracha to go stick your hands under the talis to receive the blessing from the Kohanim. I don't suggest it, it's not necessarily a good idea. However, the concept is there that we are receivers of HaKadosh Baruch Hu's bracha. We have to use our hands, we have to use our Maaseh Yadayim, not just as a means of interpersonal behavior, but as a means towards receiving bracha from HaKadosh Baruch Hu. And with that, we can follow in the ways of Aaron HaKohen, who when they set up the Mishkan, was bringing Kedusha into this world, and so too in today's day and age, through Birkas Kohanim, through our tefillos, we can reach up heavenward and be a receiver, an acceptor of Hashem's tremendous bracha. And with that, please God, we zocha to greater and greater levels in Avodas Hashem.